Kavyashree. I am a lecturer in computer science, Siddheshwara College, in the Team Academy, Davangere. Today is our first class, okay, regarding computer science. Okay, today we are going to learn about the overview of computers. Okay, what is the chapter? The overview of computers. So first I want to know what is about a computer. So what is a computer? How much you know about the computers? So that is very important. So first thing, from this chapter, what we are going to learn. So first, what are the objectives of the chapter? That is overview of computers. First, we are going to learn about the introduction of the computers. Next, functional components of the computers and the evolution of computers. Next, the classification of the computers. After that, we are going to learn about the applications of computers. So first what we have to know is what is computer. So you know, you will be always using the computers in colleges, schools, everywhere you are using computers. But you don't know what is computer, how we are using those computers, what is about the softwares, so hardwares, what are hardware, softwares, input devices, output devices. You will be knowing only the definition, but here what you will learn is about the software, programs and all you will learn here. So first thing, what is computer? Computer is an electronic machine that can store, recall and process the data. That means a computer is an electronic device. What is a device? Device is which receives some input and gives some output. The computer is an electronic machine which receives a input from the user and process those input and gives the output. Another use of the computer is we can store some data in the computer. So that is, the computer is an electronic machine that can store, recall and process the data. It can perform tasks or complex calculation. What is this complex calculation? For example, nowadays we are using the computers everywhere, like in hospitals and colleges, everywhere we are using the computers. Why we are using those computers means in order to store the data, large amount of data are stored and those calculations, a total number of calculations, everything is stored in those computers. To process those large number of data, those complex calculations are done using the computers. So that's why we use computers. So how does the computer work? So how does the computer work? You know how to do any tea or coffee. How you will do a coffee? Like you add some water, tea powder, milk, sugar, whatever. You will add those raw materials and you will give that to the some tumbler or any vessel, and then you start heating that, and after all the process you will get a tea, that is the output. In the same way we use those data as a input. That input we are giving it through the input devices like keyboard, mouse. Okay, from that input devices we transfer it to the central processing unit. We transfer it to the central processing unit, that is a CPU. Okay, you know about that CPU, we have seen. Nowadays we are using those laptops. That's why we are not able to see those CPU. Okay, CPU is a central processing unit where we have a memory, everything. We store those data there, all the calculations are done there. Okay, in that CPU we are transferring the input. After the processing, we are getting the output from the output to the output devices like monitor, printer, the hard copies, everything we get on the output devices. Next, what bytes. GB nowadays we are using 1 terabyte, nanobyte. So this is a large amount of memory we are using. So the storage capacity of a computer is measured in terms of bytes. What is that bytes? Okay, bytes means it is a bits, group of bits. We call it as a bytes. That is 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. Okay, 8 bits is equal to 1 bytes. That means what is this bit? Bit is a binary digit. Zeros and ones are what we call as a bits. That is a binary digit. Okay, full form of bit is a binary digit. 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. You have heard about, okay, you have heard about 1 GB, 1 MB, 1 KB. What is this KB, GB and MB? KB is a kilobyte, that is 1000 bytes. KB is a kilobytes, K is 1000. Okay, next GB. GB is 1000 KB is equal to 1 GB. 1000 KB is equal to 1 GB. That means 1024 KB is equal to 1 MB. 1024 KB is equal to 1 MB and 1024 MB is equal to 1 GB. 1024 MB is equal to 1 GB. Next is the accuracy. The computer generated results are exact and without any mistake with high rate of consistency. Whatever we calculate in computers is always a accurate result is provided. Whatever we calculate in a computer, we get an accurate result. That is a characteristic of a computer. Accuracy. What the result obtained by the computer is always accurate and fast. Okay, next is diligence. That unlike human beings, a computer does not suffer from any limitation like tiredness and lack of concentration. Tiredness, there will be no tiredness and concentration, less high concentration and no tiredness is provided. So diligence means computer does not suffer from any limitations. So next is versatility. Versatility. So computers are capable of performing any task. Okay, computers are able to perform any task. But one type of work any type of work we can use those computers. Multi-purpose features of computers make it quite versatile in nature. What is the meaning of versatile? Means in any field we can use those computers. We can apply those computers. For example, in a bank we are using computers. In colleges we are using computers, and in hospitals we are using computers. In the same way, in weather forecasting and everywhere, in almost all fields we are using these computers. That's why we call that as a versatile. Next is a flexibility. Flexibility involves the number of things you can do with a computer. While some are best used for simple business tasks and filing of tasks, others are good for multimedia, gaming and so on. Flexibility, that means in gamings you use computers. Okay, in gamings you use computers. For studies you use computers. For weather forecasting you use computers. Everywhere we use computers. That's why we call it as it is flexible, versatile, flexible, almost equal meaning. Okay, versatile and flexible. Next is cost effectiveness. Computers reduce the amount of paper. In olden days, what we were using is always all the data are maintained in So first thing is hardware, next software, next data and users. These are the different things we use in a computers. That is hardware, software, data and the user. These are the components of the computer. First thing is hardware. What is hardware? Okay, a hardware is a physical part of the computer. A hardware is a physical part of the computer which we can touch. Okay, the papers we can touch. That is a physical part of the computer which we can touch and feel. That is the hardware. So you can touch a monitor, you can touch a mouse, you can touch a keyboard. All these things are the hardware, and the memory devices like pen drive, hard disk, all these comes under the hardware. The physical parts of any computer, we call it as a hardware. Hardware components which you can see, touch, feel. The hardware components are fixed inside. Okay, we can also fix those hardwares inside the computer or outside the computer. So nowadays we are having the keyboard, CPU, everything we are having it in the laptop. Okay, inside the laptop we are using those. But in previous days we were using the CPU and monitor was outside the computer, and mouse was outside the computer, keyboard, everything was not in a single integrated, which was not integrated. But nowadays we are having a laptops where all this monitor, keyboard and a mouse all are integrated into a small part. So those things are keyboard. Example you can see, that is keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, RAM, CPU, etc. Next is a software. A software is a set or a collection of programs. Okay. Now, till now you were knowing about the software. You know about the software, but you don't know about the programs. What is these programs? Okay. A program is a set of instructions. Okay. A program is a set of instructions given to the computers to perform any task. I repeat, a program is a set of instructions. What is this instructions? Instructions means a set of statements we are giving to the computers to perform some task. Okay, what instruction means is it is a set of statements we are giving it into the system to perform any task. A system will be knowing nothing. Okay, it is a blank. What we say that it will do. That means we are interacting with the system with the help of these instructions. Okay, as in a program is a set of those instructions. And next, the software is a set of all these programs. You will know about you can learn the definition here. The software is a set or collection of the programs. Okay, it is a set of collection of the programs. A software is a computer program written using. How we write those instructions? Is there any language, or if we want to interact, any two human beings or two persons want to interact, means there is a need of language. Then in the same way we need some language to interact with the system. We have to tell the system what to do. Okay, what it have to do. We have to tell the system. There is a language to interact with the system. We call that language as a programming language. So using those language, we write a programs, and those set of programs we call it as a software. Software tells the hardware what to do. We cannot touch the hard software, but we can touch the hardware. We cannot feel the software, but we can feel the hardware. So that is the difference between a hardware and the software. Example for software, you know about the operating system and MS Office and games. All these are software. What you tell about the apps? Okay, ನೀವು apps ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ mobiles ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so those things are the software. So we have interact with the hardwares of the computer. Hardwares like input devices, output devices, these things are interacted with the help of the system software. Without the operating system, we cannot interact with the system. So you know about the examples, the Microsoft Windows, Linux, DOS. DOS means disk operating system. Before we are having a Windows, we had a disk operating system, that is a DOS. Okay. Next is a application software. What you will tell nowadays, that is apps. Okay. ಆ app install ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈ app install ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ವಾ. So that apps is this, that is application software. Using those computers, what we are doing, using a computers, what we are doing some task, specific task, or you will be using a Word document or PowerPoints or any gamings, everything is with this apps. Okay, all those programs will comes under this application software. It is a type of software written by the user. Okay, written by the user to perform a particular task like drawing, any documents preparation or any scanning, whatever. Everything is done with this application software. Example are Paint, Nudi, Office Package, etc. All this comes under the application software. Next, we were learning about the components of the computers. First one, hardware. Second one, software. Third is data. What is this data? How you get those data? Data are the raw facts. Okay, it is a raw facts. You will be knowing about your name. If your name is Akash, okay, Akash is a data. Your age is 16. Okay, 16 is a data. Okay, all these things are a data. We don't have any information there. Only we have the data. Your age is this much. That is the information. These data we are giving it to the computer through the input devices. In that computer, we process those data and then we receive those like information. From computer, we are receiving those processed data as information through output devices. See here, a data is a collection of unprocessed items. Okay, data is a collection of unprocessed items which include text, numbers, audio or video. Okay, all these comes under the data, but it is unprocessed. Okay, a data is a raw information or a basic facts that the computer can process. Using those computers, we are processing the data. Examples here, Param, that is a name. Okay, I have not written name is Param, no, but I have written only Param. That is a date. 16, any number, anything, that is a date. Okay, next coming to the another component, that is a users. Okay, who are the users? The users are the persons who are using the computers, or who are making these softwares. Okay, and software engineers, all these persons comes under the users. The people who use the computers are called the users. These computer operators are also called the computer users. Next is a functional components of the computer. What are the functional components of the computer? So what does the computer do? First thing, it accepts the data. It accepts the data from the user. Okay, those data are collected from the environment. Okay, those data are collected from the environment. That is, it accepts the data and program as input. What is this program? I told you that program have to do these things, these set of instructions to the with the help of those data and process the data. We have to tell the system. To tell the system, we need a language. We need a language that we call it as a programming language. So the second functional component is a stores. Okay, it stores the data, program and retrieve as and when it required. What does the computer do? It will store the data, program. Okay, it will store it and the data and the program and retrieve. What is this retrieve? Retrieve means we can access the data whenever we need. So the third component is the process the data as per instruction given by the program. As I told you, we can process those data. We can process those data with the help of the instructions. What is this instructions? That we are giving to the instructions are the set of statements we are giving it to the system through the language and convert it into the useful information. A main purpose of the